Hi, welcome to Dorkduo. We are the Dorks. I am Adam, and this is Steve. And this week we are talking Nightwing, Voltron, and other nerdly news. But first, we are talking about how Matt Reeves is directing the Batman. If you remember, last week and a half we talked about how Matt Reeves was in negotiations to direct the Batman, and then he left the negotiations for no reason we know. And now he's back, and now he's confirmed he is 100% directing the movie.
Yay!
Which to which I reply, okay. I feel like this is actually going to tie into something we talk about later, but I feel like it's more entertaining to like talk and think about the behind the scenes shit going on with the DC movies than to actually watch the DC movies.
It is kind of though,
like,
because
I feel like,
yeah. At this point,
oh my
it's
god.
like a game of what will those crazy rascal kids do next, and then the actual movie
Yeah,
comes
it's
out
like
and the game is over.
exactly. Like it's just such a roller coaster all the time, and it's kind of fun, but in like a morbid kind of a way. It's like watching a horror movie, and you don't know what's gonna happen next, and you don't know what classic DC character is gonna get murdered next.
And by murdered, we mean made a movie about. See,
I'm
to me personally, it's like the whole Mighty Number Nine thing, where it's like it could be coming
yeah.
around the next corner, oh delayed. Coming around the next, oh controversy. Coming around the next, oh it's delayed. And then it comes
I
out, and then the game's over, and everyone forgot
and
about it.
and it sucked, and it
Yeah,
sucked.
it did.
Yeah,
Good thing I
it's
didn't give
just
it any
like
money,
that.
right, Adam?
Good thing we're both poor. All right. But seriously, like, okay, so I don't really know what else to say about this. Everything I have to say about Matt Reeves, excuse me, I said the last episode. So, um, I like Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I like his directing style. I like him directing the Batman. I hope he does a good job. Please let this movie be good. Please,
Seriously,
please.
please.
God,
Okay, I'm sorry. What's
just
this dude's name?
Matt Reeves.
Okay, I'm gonna do a thing I
That's his
haven't done
name.
in a long time, and I'm gonna talk directly to Matt Reeves. Okay, all
Okay,
right.
you
So,
got it.
Matt Reeves, it's really important that you do a good job on this one because I don't want to put too much pressure on you, but this is basically like the last chance, and if you mess it up, then it's going to be a huge deal, and then no one's going to come and see these movies anymore, and then Marvel's going to win, and we can't have that. I like Marvel too, I get it, I do, but we really, really, really need DC to get a win because they're really, really sad, and they're about to hang a rope around their neck and jump off a chair. Okay, please, thank you, have a good day.
Hmm.
All right, good.
Okay, so now I really have nothing else to say about this. So yay, I guess.
Yeah, huzzah.
We're gonna move on to the next. This is like the biggest thing that happened this week. There is a Nightwing movie that is being made, and it is gonna be part of the DC extended universe. It's in the same universe as Batman v Superman and Suicide Squad and the Batman. Uh, as far as I know, it's just going to be called Nightwing, but like, I mean, this is really early. Excuse me. This is like really early on. It's not going to come out for like at least 3 years. Like, they haven't even. They do have a director, though. It's going to be directed by the guy who directed the Lego Batman movie, whose name is Chris McKay.
And that's supposed to
Uh,
be good. Not that we would know.
yeah, I know. Like, I want to see that, but I haven't because I don't like seeing children's movies at the theater by myself. Or, okay, not necessarily by myself. I don't like seeing children's movies at a theater unless I'm with a child, basically.
Do you
Because
often have
I
children with you?
hate. Well,
Do you
I
rent
usually will
them
go to
or?
see. No, no, I'll go see things like with my brother, who's young, who's like 9 years younger than me, so I can get away with it.
Oh, okay. You're
Uh,
really there for you though.
Basically, yeah. Well, it's just I don't know. I feel awkward because I hate that feeling of like I see like that worried mom looking at me out of the corner of her eye because it's like what is this guy doing here?
Adam, maybe you
Should
should
I be worried
shave your
about my
mustache.
child? I do shave my mustache and my other awful facial hair. I do shave. It's not like I'm unkempt or anything. It's just like I'm very clearly an adult going to go see like theoretically like a Batman movie or like Moana or something, and it's just
Yeah,
like
I remember I went to go see Zootopia with my sister, and we brought the median age in that room up by like 10 years. So
Exactly. Yeah, and it's just
But no
easier
shame. I
if
don't care.
I don't. And I have no problem watching children's movies. I just don't like watching children's movies in theaters. That's my thing. So
Dude,
I'll watch like a.
I missed it, but there was one weekend where the new Yu-Gi-Oh movie was playing in theaters. It was 2 days
Oh
only,
yeah,
and I
I heard.
so would have gone to that if I could find anybody to go with me.
Exactly. See, like,
And
anyway,
if tickets
so
weren't $15, but I digress.
a little bit sidetracked there, but
Super sidetracked.
Nightwing. I love Nightwing as a character. I always have. I like Dick Grayson. I think he's like my favorite Robin,
Ditto.
and and I also think that he's awesome once he becomes Nightwing.
Agreed. Agreed.
With the stinking, what are those things called? Like the something sticks. I can't think of the word.
Batons.
Baton? No, it's not. It's like I can't speak. Excrema. I think it's called something like that.
I think
I
that's
don't.
called fecal matter, Adam. I don't think that's the word you're looking
I
for.
don't know words. The point is
Or
that
eczema. Were you thinking of eczema?
I like his sticks.
Yeah, me too.
I like his sticks and I like his costume and I just like Dick Grayson. I just think he's a really cool character and I've always wanted to see any version of Dick Grayson, whether it be Robin or Nightwing, in live action. Besides, like the awful Batman and Robin, like that doesn't count
Right.
to me. That to
Well, what
me,
about
that's
the
not
end
even.
of the third Arkham movie
No,
where he was totally Robin, guys?
no, it wasn't. That wasn't fucking Robin.
Did you check
Okay,
under my alternate name? Robin slash totally superhero slash elf shoes?
that was such a stupid thing in that
It
movie.
was stupid.
Goddamn, I liked Dark Knight Rises, but that was so stupid. I just name him Dick Grayson. Like it's not even hard. You can change Dick Grayson's origin story. You could have made him like a cop.
Adam, they
I
had to
wouldn't have
call
been
him
that
Robin because
upset.
people are too dum-dums to understand that Dick Grayson is
No,
Robin's
but no,
name.
but that's what I'm saying. No, but that's what I'm saying is it's not that like okay, if they had made it so that like, Robin is his real name, but his name that everyone calls him is Dick Grayson, I wouldn't have been upset. But that wasn't even his name. I can't even remember what his name was in that movie, but it was so stupid. Like just make him Robin, make him actual Robin. Like
Right.
it's so dumb.
Well, to get back on track,
Yeah.
I'm at a crossroads, Adam, and I'll tell you why. This is something I could actually see myself getting excited about seeing.
Nightwing.
Yes,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
then I remember that this is in fact a DC live action movie, and then I remind myself of the reality of that situation, and I can't get excited about it anymore because that would only be detrimental to my health.
See, no, I don't entirely agree. I want okay, that I'm an optimist, so like I always want to be positive about things, and I am feeling positive about this. I like Nightwing. I've heard that the Lego Batman movie is really good. I've heard that it was directed well, and yeah, I could safely say I'm excited about this. I would be a lot more excited if the DC universe wasn't in the fucking shitter right now, but but that being said, I am still excited about this. Like I'm willing to let it go and just be like, hey, you know what? I'm looking to the future. I'm not going to dwell on the past. I'm excited. I'm interested in that. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm good.
Okay, well, excellent then. Then I suppose
All
we're
right.
all in favor of this.
Yeah, I think both of us can agree that we are okay with the idea of a Nightwing movie.
Yep, go team.
Okay. One last thing I gotta say about this, and it's gonna be fast, but my one worry about this is I feel like now might not be the right time to make a Nightwing movie because it's like I mean you guys this franchise is so all over the map and it's having such a hard time getting going. Getting some positive energy flowing, and like we haven't even had like a solo Batman movie yet. We just finally got a director for the solo Batman movie, the first one in this universe. And now you're gonna make a Nightwing movie? It's like, why don't we like do that later?
Let's take a foot off
let's
the gas. Everybody, calm down and take a breath.
exactly. Like I don't know, but still, I'm excited about it, and I hope it's good. I hope they don't fuck it up. So yeah, now we're gonna move on to other news. Hellboy 3 is not being made. According to I hate this guy's name, Guillermo del Toro. Hellboy 3 is 100%. That's his quote. You can quote me on that. I can quote him on that. 100% not going to happen. And a part of me is kind of let down by that, but the other part of me is glad that we at least now we know, no more speculation, no more what, well, maybe if, maybe if they can get the script just right, maybe if they can get the producers to agree to it. Now it's like, no, it is done, it is over, the time has passed. Hellboy 3 is dead, it's gone, it's too bad, but that's it.
See, as you told me that news in our little staff meeting before this in the green room,
Yes,
I
yes.
broke into three parts, three little pie chart sections of how I feel about this. 20% of me was sad that this will never come to fruition because, I enjoyed the other movies and I like the character and I really enjoy Ron Perlman as Hellboy. 30% of me said, oh, well, that's good because it would have been dumb anyway because it's way past its prime and it's a total cash grab and it'd be stupid. And then 50% of me said, oh, yeah, there were Hellboy movies.
We've talked about Hellboy
Well, I know, but
before.
it's not one of those things that I keep in the back of my brain or anything for any, quick grab of information. I don't ever have to bring up Abe Sapien in regular conversation.
That's fair. All right. I actually think that's a good point because as much as I did enjoy the two Hellboy movies we got, they weren't memorable. Like, it's not like they were something that some movies that I've watched 1,000 times. I've seen them both like maybe 3 times, and that was like 6 years ago. Like the time has passed. Hellboy, Hellboy is done.
Yeah.
It's over
For
now.
the
At least
life
at
of
least the
me,
movie.
for the life of
At
me,
least
I
the
can't
movies.
even tell you with confidence what the plot of the movies was. I can pick out scenes, but if you asked me what was the ultimate conflict of the Hellboy series, I would tell you I have no idea.
I think it was something about hell. Excuse
Right.
me,
There
something about
was there was
hell.
something about a
Like,
big rock, and Rasputin was there, and Hellboy had to
and I,
fist it with his giant rock hand, and that somehow opened up the
yeah,
door to Shub-Niggurath or whatever. And then the
and
happened.
his horns grew, and
Yes,
they were all big.
yes.
And I remember
And
that as
then and
well.
then the second one, there was something about a gold army and some elves, and Legolas was there, and Pan's labyrinth monster was there, sitting in a little circle of knives, and something about something, and then he has the right to challenge Legolas for rights to
Don't
rule
don't
the
forget,
kingdom, and then he
don't
wins the fight.
forget, don't forget. Abe Sapien got
Oh yeah,
drunk because he
and
got a
Abe,
girlfriend. I remember
yes,
that.
and Abe totally hand fucks that a lady elf, whatever her name was,
Yeah,
like with his mind, like as they
yeah,
touch or whatever. Cool,
I remember
good
that
for Abe.
actually. Yeah. Okay. No, I agree with you that I don't
So
remember a
that's the
lot about the
story. The
movies.
moral of the story is good for Abe.
Yeah, good for Abe. Okay, great. Yeah, I agree with you though. I feel like Hellboy 3, it's too bad because I liked them, but I didn't like them enough. Yeah, like
Yeah, that's
it's
the
like,
good way to put
well,
it.
yeah. All right, so we're
These
gonna move on
existed
to
and we
other
all got
news.
to benefit, but that's fine with me.
Yeah. We're gonna move on to other news. Voltron, legendary defender, is going to be getting a season 3 this September, which is especially awesome because the second season came out in January. So like that's like 2 seasons in less than a year, which is really cool. Like wow, I'm impressed with you, Netflix. You're really pumping these out. Uh, and that's great for me.
Remember the
Uh,
Thundercats remake?
I do.
That has nothing to do
It's
with anything. You made me think of '80s cartoons, and I remember they tried to reboot Thundercats and it didn't work. Sorry, go on
yeah.
with your Voltron news.
Uh, I don't really have anything to say about the news specifically. I just wanted to take a brief second to talk about Voltron and how I like the show, but I don't love the show.
Yeah, that
I
sums
don't
it
know.
up pretty good.
I like it. I like it quite a bit actually. It's good. It's really good. I like the characters. I like that they're all reasonably fleshed out. I like that they all have different personalities.
Yeah,
I
you
love.
got Sokka, and you got
No, no, no. Don't insult Sokka.
I
It's
know that's
Sokka
I
if
mean
all it's Sokka if all of his redeeming qualities were just taken away.
fine, it's
It's all
Bolin
of the
then.
bad parts of Sokka. Okay?
Wait, who are we
Okay.
talking about?
I'm talking about Lance. Are you talking about
I'm talking
Lance?
about the
Because I'm
yellow
talking
guy.
about Lance. The yellow guy?
Yeah,
He's not
the fat guy. He's
Sokka.
totally the Sokka of the team.
No,
Yes.
Lance is Sokka.
No, Lance isn't Sokka. No
The
way.
blue one. The blue
No,
one
I
is
know who I know
totally
who he is.
yes. Okay.
No way. He's more of the I don't know. I can't think of who he is, but he's not Sokka.
No, no. Hunk is like I don't even know who Hunk is.
He's
Hunk
Sokka.
is okay. Can we agree that Pidge is Toph because Pidge is a girl, B tomboyish, and C the fan favorite character?
Yeah, we can agree on that, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Because Pidge is like I think my personal favorite. Well, I also like Shiro, so I don't know. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. So the show, I like the characters mostly. I don't think any of them are like as good as say Avatar: The Last Airbender as far as characters go, but they're what, you don't agree with me? Yeah, well, whatever. Sorry. There's someone else in the room with me right now, and it doesn't matter.
Adam, they know who she is. She's been on the show, and you've
Oh
mentioned it
yeah.
before.
I have meant yeah. Savannah's here.
Adam's
And I don't
fiance,
think
everybody, say
she
hi.
does not agree with me. Anyway,
Okay.
uh, this is unimportant. This is unimportant. But I like Voltron. Oh, and I love Voltron itself. I love it when they form Voltron and like they're summoning all these weapons. It's just like it's pure like awesome 80s like kick-assery, but like with a modern flair. I love that. Ah,
I mean, the
ah,
only part of Power Rangers I thought was cool was the Megazords. So I mean, it's the same
right?
difference.
Yeah, it's because it's the best part about
I don't know
Power
who
Rangers.
ripped
Yeah, it's the
off
same
who, but I
difference.
think Voltron ripped off Power Rangers. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know how that worked. I don't know which one came up with the, like five different animal robots that all combined to form one giant man robot. I don't know if it was Power Rangers or Voltron. I feel like this Voltron, Legendary Defender. I feel like this is basically taking the Power Rangers formula and trying to actually do it well, like as best as you can while still staying true to the main core tenets of the formula. I don't know.
I
What do you
mean,
think about the
they
show,
got their
Steve?
own Zordon, I guess. So,
They do. They do have
so
their
I
own
mean,
Zordon.
it's basically the same thing. It's no Thundercats, but what are
Um,
you gonna do?
are you like just a
Well,
huge fan of
it's no Captain
Thundercats? Like,
Planet. It's no Captain Planet, but
oh come on! Are you joking? Please, Steve. It's definitely
uh,
better than Captain Planet.
excuse you. Does Voltron take care of the environment?
Uh, actually, yes. Sometimes
Oh
they
yeah, it
saved
does,
an
doesn't
entire
it?
planet.
Well, what did they save it from pollution?
Pollution? Yes, kind of. The Galra were,
Oh yeah, they did.
polluting it,
They
and
did,
then
didn't
they
they?
purified it. So
All
yeah,
right, point
actually.
Voltron, I guess. The ball's in your court, Captain
Okay,
America.
we're
I mean,
all right.
Captain Planet. Oh my
Uh,
God, Captain Planet.
do you have anything else to say
Not
about
Captain
this?
America. No, I
Captain
like
Planet,
Voltron. It's
yes.
not. It's
Okay.
for children though, and I feel weird watching it.
Yeah, it is for children, and that's not a bad thing. I don't mean this as an insult, but it is. There is a few moments when I'm watching it where I'm just like, wow, I feel old. like,
Well,
I
okay,
just,
it kind of strikes me the same way that the Ratchet and Clank movie did, where or like any
yeah,
maybe not that specifically, but any cartoon on Cartoon Network now. Like I'll flip over to
like
anything
Teen
that's not
Titans
Teen
Go.
Titans Go because I like Teen Titans Go, but it's exactly like that.
Me too.
It's like it's that same sort of like desperately random humor. You know what I
I
mean?
feel like the only people who don't. I'm sorry, I'm getting so distracted, but I feel like the only people who don't like Teen Titans Go are people who are still butthurt that the original Teen Titans was canceled. Like, there's no real reason to
Those are
dislike
exactly
Teen
the
Titans
people
Go.
who.
That show was fucking like that show was so great, but everyone's just like, yeah, but it's not Teen Titans. And it's like, no, it's not. It's its own thing, and that's a
Yeah.
good thing.
You know what? While we're
I don't
pissing
know.
people off, I'm just gonna do public service announcement. Folks who really like the original Teen Titans, go back and watch it. It's not as good as you remember. I'm sorry.
No, it's
It's
not.
really
I
not.
actually, and I loved the original Teen Titans, but I can see its flaws, which it does have.
Yes.
Like, like, God, there were so many dud episodes. Like, for all of like the awesome episodes, there were some really dumb episodes. Like, it's like, oh,
Yep.
but Tara, and it's like, okay, yeah, but what about the time that Tara was a schoolgirl for no reason?
That might not have
like,
been her.
yeah, remember that? Oh, it wasn't her. Oh, okay. It was Tara, and she was alive and a schoolgirl, and Beast Boy was all upset about it, and then nothing came of it. It was
Well,
stupid.
when you cancel the show, that's
It was
kind of bound to
dumb.
happen, you know. Well, all right. Well, okay, that's enough
I'm
on
sorry, Steve. I
Voltron
couldn't
and
hear
not
what you were
Teen
saying
Titans.
there. What'd you say? Oh,
I was actually thinking
okay.
of
We're
something
gonna
more
move on.
like I was thinking more of something like Uncle Grandpa. Actually, it reminds me of that. Not as desperate as Uncle Grandpa
Ah,
is, but
I hate Uncle Grandpa.
I know I do too.
Sorry.
But that's what it reminds me of. Anyway,
Fair enough. Anyway, so we're gonna move on to video game news. Only a couple things. Middle Earth: Shadow of Mordor is getting a sequel, which is going to be called. Well, okay, it's leaked, so it's very probably getting a sequel. How's that?
there you go, covering
Uh,
our asses.
it's called Shadow of War. I mean, this is a leak from a retailer with the box art. Like this is a really good leak. Like this is either the best fan made leak I've ever seen, or it's totally real. And it's going to be called Shadow of War, and I'm so on board. Oh my god, yes! I'm so ready for this,
Yes, I'm
Steve. Like
so
you don't even
excited to
know.
dip my wick in some more slightly related Lord of the Rings fan fiction to get some more pennies squeezed out of the property. Tolkien would be so
Actually,
proud.
it that is actually the best way to think about the first game, which I've played, because it does its best to like adhere to Lord of the Rings canon, but it's actually a very tricky thing. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay. It's actually a really tricky thing because they didn't have the rights to everything that is in the Lord of the Rings canon, so they couldn't actually talk about a lot of things. They had to just kind of imply it.
wait, how did you get partial rights to things?
I don't know. I don't know how that works. I mean, it's really weird.
Here's the two things you
I,
need to get to be able to make a Lord of the Rings property: the name Middle Earth, and something to do with either a ring or Mordor. That's literally the
no,
only
no, no,
thing
no,
you
no,
need.
no, 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 no. You have no idea what's going on, Steve. No, you're wrong. Okay, see, I'm gonna try to explain this to you. The Tolkien estate, like his kids basically,
Yeah.
uh, and grandkids, are really protective of the intellectual property, and for some reason, a while ago, they sold off portions of it. They sold off the rights to the Lord of the Rings novels. I meaning which what that means is the trilogy, the whatever it
Yeah,
is,
I know.
Fellowship of the Ring,
Yeah.
Twin Towers, blah blah blah. But at first they didn't sell off the rights to The Hobbit. Then and then when Peter Jackson wanted to make Hobbit movies, they said no,
They
and
should have
then
continued to say
there's
no.
yeah, they should have. Well, no, actually, they did. They got into this big legal dispute, and they had to go to court about it. And the court eventually ruled that Peter Jackson and whatever Lionsgate was within their legal rights to did have the intellectual property of The Hobbit. It's complicated,
Okay.
and so then they made the Hobbit movies, and they sucked.
Yep.
But the Tolkien estate still holds the rights to the intellectual property that is the Silmarillion, which is its own thing, which is basically like a fucking. The way I've heard it explained to me before is it's like a series of short stories, or like it's almost like a textbook of Lord of the Rings like mythos, and it's
Is it
really
the Lord
dense
of the
and
Ringsopedia?
kinda, but it's really really dense, and a lot of it is unfinished because Tolkien died before he could completely get it done. But they published it anyway because people wanted it. So it's really hard to understand. It's really complicated, and it's really really dense, and it's just packed with stuff. And they still hold the rights to that, so no one else can use it. And to go back to this video game, the video game tried to make references to it as best as they could without actually being able to make a full blown reference to it, which would break intellectual property right laws. And it's a mess.
Wow,
Sorry,
that sounds like it was totally worth all the effort.
it probably wasn't, but
I'd like to point
anyway,
out that you could have made that game without having anything to do with Lord of the Rings, and it probably wouldn't have suffered at all for it.
that's probably true. But to
Nevertheless,
try to
sequel
tie,
time.
yes, nevertheless, we're to try to bring this back to where it's supposed to be. I loved Shadow of Mordor. I thought it was fantastic. I thought the it's a great example of a game where the story isn't what's important, but the gameplay is just so rich and detailed and fantastic, and it's
It's
just
Assassin's Creed.
they have this.
It's Assassin's Creed,
No,
Adam.
it's not. No,
It's
it's
Assassin's
not.
Creed.
When I say gameplay, I don't literally mean gameplay. I don't just mean like parkouring up walls and stuff. And fighting. I mean like they have this nemesis system where you can pick an orc and you can have him move up the
Yes,
ranks.
I know you can adopt an orc and send him off to orc military school and have him grow through the ranks and mind control and yada 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 yada.
Yes. Mind control orcs. You can kill off his rivals and you can protect him from other people trying to kill him, and it's so cool and it's so awesome, and I love that game, and I love the Nemesis system, and I wish that more games would adopt it in some way, or at least do a version of it, because it's not perfect. It has a few hinks here and there. Like once you get to the end of the game, like what you're trying to do is you're trying to have like 7 different orcs be like Top Gun, like general level, like under your control. And once you do that, there's like nothing to do.
Boy, that sounds like a hell of a end game
Like it's
point.
just like, what do you do? Yeah, like you can go and get collectibles and do like challenges, and that's like it. It's really kind of boring.
Sounds
And
like
I
boring.
wish that they could have fixed that in some way. But maybe they will. Maybe they'll fix it in this Shadow of War sequel, which I'm just so excited about.
Yeah,
Oh my
this
God,
time
yes,
instead of mind
please.
controlling orcs, you mind control goblins or bokoblins or something.
That sounds fine with me.
I don't think
Or
I don't
both,
think those
really.
are Tolkien creatures, but you know.
Goblins are. They're
Yeah,
goblins.
I don't think that bokoblins are.
No, I don't think the goblins are. I don't even know what that's from, but okay. Anything else you want to say about this, or not?
No, I mean,
No.
cool. I guess everybody liked it, so it must be good. I never played it myself, but
You should play it, Steve.
yeah,
It's a good game.
yeah,
It's good.
yeah.
You'll like it.
No.
And it's action packed. It's like your kind of game. It's not like an RPG where it's all like intellectual.
Oh, good.
It's like
Me no brain
it's
good. Me
super.
like hit things with sword.
It's super badass and awesome. And you're basically like a god walking among fucking ants. And it's great.
Okay, sounds good.
Anyway, and one last quick thing, but I wanted to mention it because I'm excited about it. Pokemon Go has an event for Pokemon Day, and going on until like March 6th or something like that.
Yeah, you guys remember that game?
Yes, I do. I played it a lot like 2 weeks ago. It was awesome. I went on a huge like Pokemon binge, and I got a bunch of the second gen Pokemon. And
I'm
it's
glad I
really cool.
got out when I did. I didn't have to feel
Ah,
bad
it's
about having to
fun.
quit now, though.
It's fun. You should do it.
No.
It's not so bad.
I don't live in
Steve.
an
You
area
should.
that's conducive to playing that game.
Oh,
There's
well,
one
that
Pokestop
is the
within
problem.
walking distance of me, Adam.
Oh, see, I usually drive around when I do it. Like or
They
if I'm gonna
specifically
walk
tell you
around-
not to do that.
I know. No. But like, I have someone with me. I have Savannah with me, and she does just 2 at the same time. And then I'll just drive around. Or we'll go to like State Street or whatever, and we'll just walk around there where there's Pokestops every like 2 feet. So yeah, it's fun. It's a good time. Anyway, so Pokemon Go has this event where you get a party hat Pikachu until like March 6th, and I want to talk about it kind of just because I love the idea of them doing like these kind of like rapid fire, really small events. Where it's like, oh, here's Party Hat Pikachu. Oh, here's, Christmas Hat Pikachu. I wish that they would give, things to anything
I was gonna say,
other
yeah,
than
it's just
Pikachu.
gonna be, everyone's gonna have like a flood of special edition Pikachus.
Yeah, I do wish that they could have done something a little bit different with other Pokemon too. I haven't done it yet and I haven't looked it up or anything, but I really hope that the hat stays when you like evolve it.
It does.
Like if
it
I
does. Because the
it does?
Christmas hat stayed after you evolved it.
Oh, well, that's good to know. Okay, because that's awesome. Because it's like, if you didn't, it's like, well, great. So now I have this useless freaking Pikachu. All right, then great. I like this. I like Pokemon Go and this idea of having these rapid fire, like, I don't know, like week or 2 week long events where you get to, have like, oh, it's a different hat, for Pikachu. Or, oh, Gengar is shiny or
Yep.
something. Like, they haven't done that, but
Can't wait for
it'd be
Earth
cool
Day
if they did.
Pikachu.
I really would like it if they did something with any Pokemon other than Pikachu. But
Earth Day
still,
Ekans.
This gets my two thumbs up of approval because I like the idea of Pokemon Go, and I feel like they fixed a lot of the issues that the game had than when it did at the beginning. So
Yay, Pokemon.
sounds good. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to my humble
This
opinion.
is a
So,
short
Steve,
episode. Good God.
we were going through it. We got this. We're trying to keep it brief for our fans out there. You know,
Okay.
we don't want to have them sit there forever. You know, I know you love us, but you know, you got stuff to do. It's all right. It's
You can't be
okay.
wasting your lives in here. Go outside and do a thing. Get a donut. Whatever. All right. So you want me to go first?
Yeah, you go ahead.
All right. So this is one of the ones that I've had on the back burner for a while, and I've just been because stuff will come up, but I haven't got to talk about it. To roll back a bit, for Christmas, I said this when I did Resident Evil 7. I treated myself to some exciting new games, and a handful of them actually were Resident Evil titles because I've decided I'm a big fan of those now, and I want to start playing more of them. And one of the ones I picked up was Resident Evil 0. Resident
Okay.
Evil 0 is a prequel to the first game.
That's interesting. Makes sense that they would name it that.
Yeah, I know. So Resident Evil 0 is the heartwarming tale of Rebecca from the first game and a handful of other games, and lovable rogue Billy, who is a criminal. So how this starts is you are Rebecca's squadron of star agents, and you go and try to capture Billy because he's on the run as a villain or whatever, and you get embroiled in zombie shenanigans, and there's a train, and there's a mansion, and all that good stuff. And then at the end of the game, you wind up somehow at the first mansion from the first game to start the level all over again and that kind of shit. But this one is in the vein of the first game, where it's tank controls, fixed cameras, you walk around, you pick up random junk and try to find a weird shaped keyhole to put it in. It's that kind of stuff, and I enjoy that. So I was really glad to see that kind of stuff stick around for this prequel game. But what's different about it is in this one you play as both Billy and Rebecca at the same time. Kind of like in Resident Evil 5 when you got a partner, but not as shit.
Okay.
Like,
Not really sure how that works, but okay.
Okay, well, you played Resident Evil 5, right? No, you didn't. You
No,
didn't. Okay,
I haven't-
but
no,
you're
I have
aware
not
of its
played any of
existence,
them.
right?
I'm aware that Resident Evil 5 exists, but I know nothing about it.
Okay, well, basically in that one, you played as one character and you had a brain dead tag along that carried all your stuff. That's kind of how this one works, except in this one, how some of the puzzles work is you have to be independent of each other. So you can either have a partner stay put or follow you train style. So they will either stick to your heels, or you can leave them at a place and swap between the two characters in their two different places on the map. So if you need like a lever pulled in one room and a button swipped in the other or something, you can separate the two and wander around the mansion separately with them, and then you can do their two activities together.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's really cool. So it makes for more complicated puzzles or more interesting puzzles, but it doesn't have to. I think the puzzles are better than the first Resident Evil solely because of this element. Because I wasn't super crazy about it originally. I was like, ugh, I got to worry about two people now. But like the puzzles can benefit from making more logical sense because some things would require two people to do without having to overcomplicate them, like the first game had to do, because it had to come up with some sort of inane reason why you needed a random shaped key to put in a random hole. So I think this mitigates some of that a little bit. But
that makes sense. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm following.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
But this game has good things that it does better, and it has bad things that it does worse than the other Resident Evils. So I'm gonna, because it's basically every time it gives you something, it kicks you in the dick as well. So I'm gonna do a good bad comparison for all this stuff. So
Okay.
All right. So your two-player. So first off, let's talk about our two playable characters, Rebecca and Billy. You can either play as returning protagonist Rebecca, who has bones made of cake and has a pharmaceutical kit so she can combine chemicals. Or you can play as Billy, who comes with a free knife, does more damage, can take more damage, and has a lighter for starting fire, and he wears sunglasses inside.
Great.
So the question that I first asked myself was, why would I ever play as Rebecca? To which the game said, because there's an achievement for it, that's why.
Wait. Go through this again. He wears sunglasses indoors. He has a lighter. And what does the girl do?
She has a kit that mixes chemicals for puzzles, like twice in the game. and also she
Oh,
takes more damage.
that
That's her
sucks.
benefit. She takes more
Okay,
damage.
sorry. It's like I heard you, but it's like I hadn't processed it, so I was like, wait. Remind me what you said again.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
okay,
the question I
yeah,
asked myself
that's
first was,
awful.
why would I ever want to play as Rebecca when I can play as Billy and totally take those fools to school with his sunglasses inside and his wife beater T-shirt? Um, I accidentally got the achievement. I didn't even know it was a thing. I got an achievement for killing all the bosses with Rebecca, just totally on accident.
That's funny.
But
Wow.
basically, what happens is I will play follow the leader with my two partners until one of them gets super damaged, and then I'll just switch to the other one and transfer all my stuff over to their pockets, and then leave the other one behind until I've cleared the path out, and then just have that one follow. That's
Makes
how
sense.
most of the game
Okay.
goes. So whenever you
All
get
right.
into a new area, you find the first safe room, and you leave your partner there, and you just go wander on your own.
That I follow you.
Yeah.
Okay.
The annoying part is if you can actually
It's
tell.
basically. Oh,
Well, you
sorry. I
can
was gonna say it's basically like two health bars, kind of.
basically,
It
yeah.
is
That's
like a
yeah,
free health.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that is also annoying though, because you have to take care of two people's health and ammo instead of just one.
Yeah,
But
that is kind of
it's
annoying.
not a huge deal, especially since if you just play as one of them most of the time and just worry about healing that one person. But the issue with that is you can tell your partner to either be hostile towards enemies or not attack at all if you want to like conserve ammo, because it's still tank control,
Mm.
so they still have to stand still to shoot. So I've gone into areas with a partner where they'll stand stock still, firing wildly into a super zombie with their pistol, and I'm gonna be like, "We're trying to get to the door," but they're just standing there shooting them in the shin, and then they get bitch slapped into the wall, and it's like, well, I could have told you that was gonna happen, but you wouldn't listen. So that's annoying. And if you leave them in a room by themselves, they will defend themselves. But if you're not there to protect them, they're probably going to die. So if there's any chance of a
That's
zombie showing up, they're pretty much boned.
that's
Yeah.
obnoxious.
So here's some.
I'm getting some crap. What's that movie? I'm getting some Ico flashbacks. Like no, come here,
It's
here
not as bad as
now.
having to hold her hand and grind her face into a wall to make her jump, but it's basically the same. So a bad thing. Um, this game has a lot of super zombies. Like it
Oh,
actually
okay.
supplements most of the zombies with super zombies, which is annoying because you're not usually
Good.
because in the first game you'd fight, there would be mostly regular zombies, and then if you didn't headshot them later, they'd come back as the redheads, which are just running zombies, which are scary but manageable. And then later on they would add stuff like the hunter, which is the giant alligator man that will totally school you if you aren't prepared. But in this game you fight there's some lovely regular zombies, and then there's shit like the regenerators that have like whip arms that you can't kill unless you use some sort of special exploding damage, but I didn't figure out forever. I put so many shotgun shells into those things hoping they would die, and they just don't die. There's some giant cockroaches. There's some giant millipede grasshopper looking things. There's the hunters. There's a giant bullfrog at one point. There's just a lot of shit. A lot
Okay.
of special zombies that I would prefer they toned those down, because there was no need for all of that. On the other hand, on the good hand, um, it has. What was I gonna say? I totally forgot my good point now. So let's do another bad one. Okay.
Great.
Sorry. So I remember what it was. They go hand in hand. So this game, unlike the first game, if you're holding too many items, you're just shit out of luck. You have to either consume a consumable or go back to a box and put things away. They got rid of the toolbox things in this game. You can just drop stuff now if you're not using it, and then you
Oh,
can just pick it
that
back.
makes
Yeah, and then
sense.
you can just pick it back up because it'll always be there, and you can just pick it up whenever you need it. The
Oh,
annoying part
okay.
of that is a lot of items now require you to have to leave them behind and go get them later. Like there's like a grappling hook gun thing that you get in like the first level, which you use once in the first level, and then I left it there at the end of that level because
You didn't need
I
it.
figured the
Yeah.
puzzle was over, and I didn't need it for like 10 more levels. And then I had to run all the way back to the beginning of the stage from the previous section, pick it up, and walk back with the and just so I
That's
can
a
use it that one time. It's really annoying.
that's dumb.
So a lot of
I don't
puzzles
like
require
that.
you to pick stuff up now. Yeah, I know. I don't either. On the other hand of that, your map will also indicate where an item you've touched has been. So if you drop something, you can
Hmm.
look at your map and it'll tell you exactly what room it's in. So there's no having to go find things. You can just look at your map and say, oh, that's where I left the so-and-so. So it's more of an inconvenience than a outright cripple. Also, items now take more space in your inventory the bigger they are, instead of just being one space like the previous game. So that stupid grappling hook gun now takes up 33% of my inventory space. Also, you can't put the stupid save ribbons in the box anymore. You have to carry them around all the time, because now when you go to a typewriter, there's not going to be a box to pull out the save function with and just swap between each thing. So you have to carry them around permanently, so that's also a spot in your inventory you can't designate to guns or healing items. So that can be annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Ugh. So it's just like, I don't know what to say other than, wow, that sounds annoying.
Yeah. Well,
like, it's like,
I told you about the save things, right? Like you save at the typewriters, and you need to use the ribbons to save there.
I think so.
Yeah, it's the same thing in this game too. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's cool and everything. I mean, I wound up at the end of the game basically carting around the rocket launcher, extra rockets, and the shotgun. And that was basically my loadout until the end of the game. Because once you get the shotgun, the game is over. Much like every Resident Evil game.
The game ends.
I mean, that's all you need. It's your only. The only thing I couldn't kill with the shotgun was the flying bat enemy, which is bullshit, by the way, because it's tank controls, so you can't exactly turn around and stuff, and it swoops around and smacks you in the face and picks you up and hangmans you and stuff, and it's just a whole lot of bullshit. And do you remember in like the Zelda games, the keys, the little bats that fly around, they're super annoying, and you have to like Z-target them and take them out one at a time? Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's like 30 of those in that room, and they infinitely respawn.
Oh,
so
God.
This is how I beat it. Right before, there's actually like a door that you can walk out to like get to a previous area in that room. So here's what I did. I walked out the door, walked back in, fire while auto-locked to one of the bats, shot it, walked out, walked back in, made sure I killed all the bats before they could respawn, shot like 3 times at the boss, walked back out, walked back in. It took me like an hour.
Man, literally all you have to say to piss me off is infinitely respawn, and you already have me like completely like, oh shit, that sounds awful.
Yeah,
like it doesn't matter what it is.
It's really annoying. And that was especially at the point because I only had Rebecca at full health, so I had to fight the boss with Rebecca, and she's terrible, and she has bones made of cake, as I previously mentioned. She can't take a hit for shit, and she dies in 2 hits, and the bat then grab moves you.
Yeah, but Steve, you got an achievement for it.
I did.
I mean, is it really so bad?
I mean, I'm glad I didn't have to go back and do it again. That's kind of nice, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, though, would you have...
Hell no.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, you're not an achievement hunter kind of a guy.
No, I would have looked at that and said, well, that's never happening, and I would have just moved on with my life. There is the awesome backup mode where you get to play as Wesker.
That's cool.
Which is,
I don't know who that is.
They replace... Oh, he's the villain. He has, like, psychic powers.
Oh, that's awesome.
It actually replaces Billy's character model with Wesker, but when you're in combat, you can like use the Force to blow up zombies.
Yes.
Yeah, and you can also have super speed
awesome.
because Wesker has super speed because of reasons.
The best kind of reasons.
Don't worry about it. He just does, and that's playing on easy mode. I played like 1 level of that, and I got bored.
Right now, you sound like one of the Flash writers, the Flash TV show. Like it's just like, he's there because of reasons. Just
that's exactly. I thought maybe they would change like the cutscenes or something, but no, they have Billy's voice coming out of Wesker's body, and Wesker is just doing what Billy's character. They just stuck a Wesker costume on the Billy's skeleton in the cutscene. And then
they gave him a couple more powers. Yeah,
which is lame because there's extra reason not to play as Rebecca then, because Rebecca doesn't have Force powers. Wesker has Force powers, though. Wesker can pop a zombie's brain from a distance without using his gun.
That's really awesome, actually. I love that.
Yeah.
But anything else you want to say about it?
It was really good. I don't know if I made it sound like it was good. I really enjoyed it, though. I wish that it didn't have as much bullshit run around as it did, but I'm okay with that. Hooray! Oh, and they don't wind up banging at the end of the story like I thought they were gonna.
Oh, I love it when anything does that. When you have like, two like one male character, one female character, and it's like, well, they have to bang, and then they don't. It's like, oh, that was nice. Like, yes, men and women can be friends, and it doesn't have to end in romance in every single form of fiction ever made. Like that's not required.
I mean, it also has to do with the fact that I think Rebecca looks like a 12-year-old boy, but she's
Okay.
not. But I think she looks like it.
All right.
All right, that's
So
all I have to say
may
about
I
that.
do? Okay. So uh, this week I'm going to talk about the Clone Wars. And in my humble opinion,
Oh yeah, I forgot to
the
say
Clone
that.
War. Oh
Oh well.
yeah. You go.
In my
You,
humble
you
opinion,
can you
Resident
can
Evil's
finish
good.
it off. Good. Okay. Got it. Great. So in my humble opinion, the Clone Wars. Sorry, that's Star Wars: The Clone Wars, the computer-generated animated show that was on Cartoon Network.
The weird
And
looking
the
marionettes one, where they all have like ginormous heads and plastic
Yes,
features.
yes. But in my opinion, the show is actually pretty darn good. Like it's pretty awesome. The animation style is a bit jarring, especially when you first start, because like especially true because in the first season they hadn't quite figured out what they were doing with the animation. So there's a lot of like kind of like like 20 like 50-yard stares going on where they're just kind of
Obi-Wan
like
Kenobi's
you know
beard is a perfect triangle. You
no,
could
but
crack
like
diamonds on that thing.
okay, if you can get past the animation style, which I really promise you, it gets better with time. Once you get used to it, and once they figure out what they're doing, so that the animation like is actually pretty good, and it's not, and they stop making animation, like mistakes. It's really not that distracting, and it gets downright awesome. Especially like the show really finds itself in the third season, and that's when just think everything just starts to fall into place, and it just is awesome, awesome, awesome. It's so good. But for the weird thing about this show is that the whole show obviously is about the Clone Wars. That's what the show is called. And just like in real life in war is long, it's complicated, and there's a lot of different things going on at the same time. And so the way that this show approached that is to kind of have like every episode or sometimes like multiple episodes deal with like one arc, one little thing. And each arc is mostly self-contained. There's a few that tie into one another, but most of the time each arc is kind of its own story. Uh, and some of them are absolutely fantastic. Like some of the best Star Wars stories I've ever seen. Seriously, it's so freaking good. Other stories make me want to gouge my eyes out with a rusty spoon because they're so
With the
painfully
Force.
awful. like, okay, like for every, you won't get this, but maybe someone at home will get this. For every like clone arc where like I'm thinking of the Clark with the arc where Rex and all and the 501st deal with a certain Jedi who isn't what he appears to be, which is one of the greatest Clone Wars anything art any Star Wars story I've ever seen. It was so fantastic. For every one of those, you get like a droid arc where you have R2D2, a couple of other astromech droids, and a little frog person. Um, a little frog person and like this weird like okay and this weird I can't think of the name of it. I'm a Star Wars nerd and I can't think of the name of this BT. It's like a BT something or other. um it's like those tiny little things that are like 2 feet high that like they like their heads look like saucers that have like a freaking like like one eye in front of it. You probably would recognize it if you saw it, but
Okay.
uh anyway, it doesn't matter. So
Why does this remind me of that one episode of Pokemon where we saw it from the Pokemon's perspective only?
Yeah, that arc is so awful it made me want to stop watching the show. But at that point, that was in season 5, and I couldn't just stop there, so I was like, no, I'm gonna keep going.
Oof, been
But
there.
oh my god, it, it was really bad. So like my overall feelings on the show are very positive, but if you are going to go and watch it, which I do recommend for anyone who really likes Star Wars, just understand that there's going to be some dud episodes and there's going to be some really boring arcs where you just don't care. And honestly, you can just skip them. Like 90% of the time it doesn't matter. Like that droid arc I mentioned, like that never comes up again. It's not like it's important at all. um like it really isn't. You can literally skip it and you won't miss anything of important. Okay, well you'll miss one thing, but that's only relevant in Star Wars Rebels, so you don't really have to worry about it for like a long time. Just don't even just please just don't do it to yourself. Um but like seriously, Steve, like if you like Star Wars, I actually really recommend the Clone Wars. Like it's really solid. Like you will find a lot of you there's a lot of enjoyment to be had watching this series. And it fleshes out so much of the prequel era. And it just it really, in my mind, almost redeems the prequels in a way. Or not the prequels, like those three movies are bad. Like they are objectively not good movies, they are poorly made. And yeah, but the prequel era, like that time frame in Star Wars, is actually really interesting and awesome. It just is all about how you present it and like the way that you approach that Star Wars era. And this show knew what it was doing and it was great. And oh my god, it did such an amazing job at fleshing out Anakin's character, like where it made his fall to the dark side makes sense, because it wasn't like you know how in episode 3, maybe you don't know or care, but you know how in episode 3 how Anakin seemingly goes to the dark side almost like
with
like
no prompting
super,
at all.
like he just goes to the dark side so quickly, like he's just like, it's just like, we're not going to make you a Jedi Master. And then it's just like, okay, I get, and he's all mad about it. And then, like, 30 minutes later, he's murdering children. Like,
Yep.
this show really makes it make more sense in that it's not that one thing. It wasn't the Jedi, saying he couldn't be a Jedi Master that pissed him off. It was that on top of 1,000 other things. That was the straw that broke the camel's back, because he was constantly disrespected by the Jedi council. He was constantly disrespected on them. He was constantly butting heads with people around him. He was one of the most competent and skilled generals, but they were so afraid of him and what he could turn into that they actually like made things worse, and they made him turn to the dark side simply out of desperation to save his wife and to just feel fulfilled. And it just this show did such a good job at making that make sense. And and I think it's worth watching just for that alone. It was just so well done. Oh, and also, this show also introduces us to Ahsoka, who
Yeah, the
is
tentacle head.
awful. She's awful in the first like season and a half, and then she becomes one of my favorite Star Wars characters of all time in like seasons 3 on. Like seriously,
Okay then.
it's amazing. It's amazing how much I hated her and then how much I loved her. And then when I'm just gonna spoil it because I have a fair, I'm pretty sure that you're never gonna watch it.
No,
So
probably not.
when she ends up leaving the Jedi Order, that's what she
Oh,
does.
good. They
She
wrapped
she
that up.
quits, kinda. But when she leaves, it's heartbreaking. It's so emotional to watch this, and it's so hard to watch Anakin try to persuade her not to do it. And he's just like, basically what happened is she was accused. To make a long story short, she was accused of murder. The Jedi Council was just like, oh well, she did it, and they didn't like really try to even investigate or seem to really care. They're just like,
They're
oh
like the
well,
world's worst
let's
peacekeepers. That doesn't matter to them.
yeah, kind of. So they were just like, oh well, I guess she did it, so let's give her over to the Republic so she can stand trial and then get murdered, and then get executed.
Did she demand
But
trial by combat?
she did
She
not.
should have.
But then Anakin was the one who went and investigated, figured out what was going on, and then cleared her name. and then afterwards, the Jedi Council was just like, hey, yeah, sorry about that. We'll let you rejoin the Order. We'll even make you a Jedi Knight. Like, you don't have to be a Padawan anymore.
Oh,
Like,
that doesn't seem
like
fair
you
to the
know,
other kids. What, she gets
no,
arrested and then she gets to be
trust
a Jedi
trust
Knight?
me, no, it made sense in context. Like, she had been a Padawan for like 3 years at this point. Like, it was about that time that she should become a Jedi Knight.
I
Uh,
think Anakin
and
was
he
a Padawan for what, like 10 years before he got to go anywhere?
Anakin was a special case. We don't worry about him. Anyway, so they offer her. The Jedi Council is just like, hey, you can come back if you want. We'll even make you a Jedi Knight. And then she's just like, no, like no, you betrayed me. You abandoned me. Like I don't want to rejoin the Order. Like I didn't want to leave, but now that you've kicked me out, I don't want to come back. Like
Mm-hmm.
like I'm not doing this. Like, and she had been having doubts about being a Jedi for a while at
Yeah.
this
After
point,
they
and this
make you
was
kill
just
all
like,
those children to gain lightning powers, it's probably not worth it.
that's not. Stop it. No, it's never happened. Uh, but then Anakin rushed out. She left the temple, and Anakin rushed out, and this is like the final episode of the show, kind of. And he rushed out, and he's just like, "What are you doing? Like they're gonna let you come back, And she's just like, "I can't come back, Anakin." And he's just, they abandoned me. I can't do it. And he's just like, "Yeah, but I didn't abandon
Yeah.
you,"
My mom
And it was
abandoned
just,
me, and then she was killed by sand people.
oh my god, it was so heartbreaking. And it was just like, and he's just, like, but I didn't. I stayed by you. I never stopped believing in you. And she's just
Hold on
like,
to the
and she's
feeling.
just like, and well, no, she was just like, Anakin, you're right, but this isn't about you. And then she just fucking left. And I was just like, oh, it hurt so bad, but in such a good way. And it was just, I love this show. I really did. And for every stupid droid arc, I get that. And I really recommend this. If there's anyone out there who is listening and you are a fan of Star Wars and you've always disliked the prequels, but you watched them as a kid and you kind of like them anyway, just because it's Star Wars, please watch this show. You will not regret it. It makes the prequels make so much more sense, and it makes them just so much better in retrospect. And it's just, please, it's so fantastic. It's really good. I'm gonna give it like an 8 out of 10, and the only reason it's not like a 9 would be because of the bad episodes that are really quite bad. But the good episodes more than make up for it. So an 8 out of 10, a very very solid Star Wars TV show.
All right.
Okay.
8 mini-chlorians out of 10.
Yeah, 8 midichlorians out of 10. Perfect. We got it.
Awesome.
Okay, so we're gonna do WhoDaWin then. Sound
All
good?
right.
Okay, I'm gonna pick my guy right away. It's my boy, my man, my Nightwing. Nightwing. He is gonna be fighting for me in this death match. I hope it's a death match. Actually, no, I don't. But
Okay, well, you changed attitudes on that one pretty quick. All right, let's see.
come on,
I got the Ninja Turtles.
Nightwing. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, where's that? I mean, there was a Batman Teenage
Dude.
Mutant Ninja Turtle crossover.
I know, but like Nightwing is kind of like a Ninja Turtle already. Like they have like basically the same powers and abilities.
What, being
Like
a
they're
ninja?
kind of.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going around.
Yeah. All right.
All right, let's see. All right.
Please be Wingman. Please be Wingman. I'm gonna win.
It's not Wingman.
Oh, okay.
It's worst fan base.
Worst fan base?
Yeah.
I would say Teenage
Definitely
Mutant Ninja
Teenage
Turtles.
Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not even gonna try to fight that one. I mean, Nightwing has its fans, but I wouldn't say they're bad fans.
No,
It's just like a bunch of people who are like, oh yeah, Nightwing is cool, but like no one's like crazy about
And
it.
he should be Batman.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is such a stupid concept, but people still like it to this day for no other reason than because nostalgia. Like seriously, like no, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles wins easy. I lost this round. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Nightwing.
Hooray! All right. Well, I got Wild for mine, so I'm gonna pick What did we talk about today?
We talked about Voltron. You
I'm,
could pick a
I'm, you know what I'm gonna
Voltron
do?
guy.
I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna pick Rebecca from Resident Evil. We'll see if she can
Oh,
actually win a
that'll work.
fight.
I'm gonna pick Ahsoka from the Clone Wars.
All right.
Nailed it.
All right.
I
So
like
more likely to
I like
catch them
Ahsoka.
all.
Okay.
I'm gonna say.
Uh,
Okay. You know what? Rebecca is a 12-year-old boy, and 12-year-old boys are great at catching Pokemon.
okay. Rebecca, according to you, looks like a 12-year-old boy. She is not actually a 12-year-old boy.
Semantics.
Uh, anyway, Ahsoka has the Force, which I feel would be useful in throwing Pokeballs in different hard to reach areas to catch Pokemon, theoretically.
That's true. And if
Oh! No, I got this. No, I got this. One of the lesser known light side of the Force powers that not everyone knows about is that Jedi or any light side user can use the Force to calm and control to a degree animals. Like they can calm them down and they can like manipulate them into doing things for them.
Jedi
And
are
that would be
druids
really
now.
that would be really useful when trying to hunt for Pokemon.
That's very true. Plus, if Rebecca wanted to throw a Pokeball, she'd have to stand perfectly still and line up her shot with the Y-axis and then the X-axis and then throw it, and that just wouldn't work. So, no, thank you.
Yeah,
Sorry, Rebecca
Ahsoka.
loses that one.
Ahsoka wins it.
All right, last round.
My girl Ahsoka. Yes.
All right, who are you going with?
Oh crap! I need to think of one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Shiro from Voltron.
Which one is he again?
That's the older one, the one with the
the
cool
black one?
metal hand that he can like act. Yeah,
Right,
the
right,
black.
okay.
Okay, fine. Yes, the black
Black Lion,
paladin.
not the black guy.
The Black Lion. Yeah, the guy who controls the Black Lion. Yeah.
Okay. Everybody's white in that show, so.
I know. Actually, that's not entirely true. Some of them are like mixed race or Hispanic.
Oh
or
yeah, I
whatever,
guess.
so.
Well, okay, whatever. Anywho, I got the liquid metal Terminator. That's
Oh
the
jeez.
T1000, right?
I don't know.
Okay.
No, I think the T1000 is the main term. Arnold.
No, that's the
Pretty
T800.
sure that's the.
T800
Oh, it
Cyberdyne
is.
Systems Model 101.
Dude, I have only seen like the Terminator like once or twice.
Well,
like,
that's
seriously.
the thing. I promise.
Okay.
Designation. Anywho, so challenges most overpowered, and liquid metal Terminators are pretty overpowered.
No, yeah, you win. You win. I'm not gonna fight it. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? like Liquid Metal Terminator, like they could only beat it by melting it. That was literally the only way. Nothing else could stop
Mm-hmm.
it.
The
Like,
liquid nitrogen
no.
thing didn't actually work either, did it?
No, it didn't. Like nothing, nothing stopped it. They had to melt it. That was the only way.
All right, I
And
win.
Shiro kind of gets his ass kicked often and loudly. So I don't really think that he
True.
counts
True,
as
he
being
does.
overpowered.
Plus, Arnold
I mean, I guess
Schwarzenegger's a liquid metal Terminator now, so.
I guess for the sake of argument, you could say maybe just include all of Voltron or like maybe the Black Lion. Like if you really wanted to try to like even things up a little bit, but even then, I feel like the Liquid Metal Terminator could destroy the Black Lion like pretty easily.
Oh yeah,
I
for
mean,
sure.
Yeah, no way.
What's
No,
they gonna do? Hit it
you
with a
win.
sword? Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're gonna shoot it with a ray gun? I don't think so. Mm-mm.
All right, well, so looks like I win this round.
Yeah, you win. You won. Okay, so that's it for this week. And I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember our ending. I've been so good about it.
Okay, for anyone else who
May
wasn't
the
there for
prince-
this, privy to this information, which is everybody, we did this opening like 20 times. So, Adam's on a roll today, remembering our basic story structure for
I'm
the
really
show.
off today. Oh my god. Yeah, we could do like restart this episode like a bajillion times. Anyway, may your princess always be in the right castle. May the force be with you. See you, Space Cowboys.